But we shall make an effort to sort of deconstruct it or interrogate it in this interview.
All right, all right.
But in this course, we are also looking at different education institutions. Makere is very important as far as art education is concerned. And you were a student here in the 60s, I believe. And you have your stories to tell about Makere of the 60s with Cecil Todd, who had
Jonathan
Kingdon, Ali Darwish, John
Michael Adams,
John, who was the one in ceramics?
Oh, I forgot.
John who?
Forgotten that.
Ceramics had some.
And then Gregory Maluba.
Yeah, Maluba. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think let's start with your story of entering the school as a young student, aspiring to become a painter, I suppose. And what was it like to be a student, especially female student? We have very few female students at that time in Makerere. What do you remember? What were first of motivation to become an artist or become and did you come from a family of artists, or you were a rebel and said, I want to become an artist?
No.
And this is what I want to do in my life, with my life. So how did it start?
No. It was a natural progression when you are really young and you go for education. And then we're in the School of Fine Art. And
you did your A level?
I did O level. I didn't. At Trinity College in Nabingo. But it was not like some of these people get up and they see this big vision of their life. It wasn't like that for me. It was just a natural progression of going to school and being educated, and then being taught skills and craft.
There was
because there are a lot of people.
You had art classes.
Yeah, it had. Yes, I came from.
Who was the teacher there at the time?
I don't remember. There were nuns. I came from a whole thing of nun schools. Yes. And they always taught art.
Irish nuns, I think.
I can't tell whether they were Irish. The first group of nuns that taught when in the primary school, I think they were Polish.
Oh, okay.
Because Chisubi Primary School, it was further.
Where you went?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
And then Nabingo, run by nuns from Canada, from the one from Poland. The Chisubi was very, very big on Catholic education.
Right.
And in all Catholic education, children were encouraged to do art.
Why do you think you were encouraged to do that?
I wouldn't be able to answer that fairly, because that's what they thought about their education. When you are 5 years old,
they encourage people to
and they do, yes,
through different media, including art.
They do. And learn and play, you make dolls, you make things, you decorate. That was a very happy place.
Then you pass your high school and you...
I go to Nabingo. And from Nabingo, I learned in the School of Fine Art.
You are a contemporary of who
yes, Sempanji, Dorothy Sekade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sengendo was...
No, Sengendo was much younger.
Okay.
Came later.
Okay.
But like we said, we were in the school. He was in the school when we were finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was 4 years at that time.
Yes.
Yeah. So you were on your way out and then you came in.
I think so. I'm not quite sure, but I think
So what are your memories of the emphasis in the curriculum, for example? What are the do's and don'ts at the time?
No, very strict teachers, very kind, very strict. Like you come and you go for each discipline, you will do what you're supposed to do. You have to draw, there's drawing, there's life drawing. The first 2 years you go into all the departments that you go into when it's time for, there's a timetable for each discipline. And they expect every student to go through those disciplines.
Graphics, ceramics, sculpture,
yes.
painting.
Yeah.
I think those are the major ones.
Yeah.
And the foundation years, the first 2 years, you had to go through each one of these.
Yes.
And in the third year, you decide
you want to specialize in two.
Yeah,
so I did painting in
painting and
graphics.
And graphics. And
but you still have to continue with your drawings and art history.
Right. Okay. And of course the independence decade. These are the years of, I would say, turbulence in terms of ideology, in terms of, if you're independent, colonialism is behind you and you want to
No, but I tell you, there's something that is not true, at least in that case.
Yes.
Terms like colonialism, like foreign, were not apparent. Those are not things that I consciously went out. It was not necessary. It didn't matter whether, when you learn the history of art, you learn the ethics of it, you learn the history of art. Maybe that's the difference. It wasn't a question of what? Describing your identity in those type of terms. So it makes a whole big of difference. Not that those terms are not right, but it depends on the time and space and the person and the experience.
Yeah. So in your work, you made your art without necessarily making reference to your ethnicity or race or being an African in this.
No, I didn't.
You just made art that.
As express yourself within your environment, and then when they teach you a discipline like drawing, you learn it. What you do is it. When they teach you about colors and whatever, it's then your self-expression. Maybe that's where your background and environment comes into to play a part. Because where you are is where you are, and who you are is what you are. Now, if you have enough discipline, a direction will appear. Not because you consciously said, "Oh, I'm an African." That did not play part in other time.
At least not for you.
Not for me at all.
Yeah, because people like Ngugi wa Thiong'o, for example, very angry.
Yeah, no, but this is not just him. It's that kind of thing is still apparent. For example, they were saying, "I'm waiting for you to say as a woman." Yeah. You see, of course you are a woman. But there are two ways of approach to this womanness. The very fact of your nature is going to be reflected. But it won't be from the fact whereby you feel wronged or pushed. No, because you're a woman, you can see a beautiful thing. Maybe you can't lift. Certainly my tutors did not give me any advantage. When it's time to put your body, you do it yourself. They didn't say, that poor girl, come on. No, they never cut me any slack.
You didn't cut corners because you were...
because they didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But also the background mattered. You came from a Christian background.
Yes, I did, yes.
Where a nice, Catholic.
Yeah. The other thing is, inequality of men and women didn't matter because I went to a boarding school. They were all girls. I went to a secondary school. They were all girls. So men and women and fairness never played a part on that level.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, but yet at the same time, there were debates and opinions and discussions about, how do you, in spite of, being in a modern, independent Uganda with the amenities of modern life, still be rooted in your local circumstances, rooted in your, I would say, history or your past, or there are things that were still important and relevant from your history. For example, I'm going to be meeting Sempanji on Monday.
Yes.
Sempanji made a sculpture he called Omugerengejo.
What does Omugerengejo mean?
I'm going to ask him.
Okay.
But in that sculpture, he introduced horns of buffalo. He introduced backcloth. He introduced a mumbwa. He introduced all those things. Conglomeration of stuff. And I was trying to say is, look, I know that I'm a modern man, but I'm constructing this sculpture out of the materials that are within a setup or an African, a Muganda setup, So
now that is a very,
was this superficial when he was doing that?
No, for him, it was okay.
Yeah.
Now we can be two people growing up in Uganda and go completely different experience.
Exactly.
Some people, like, they can produce, say, a piece of art and they say that this is a women's exhibition and they have nails. They say the pain of childbirth. Now I don't have if that's what inspires them. We all find something that inspires them to paint. Then it's beautiful. But I sometimes they mix up pain and the theme. I don't have any quarrel with that. But you must know that people grow up in the same space, in the same area, with different parents, and they run parallel lives as to what is relevant, or what is inspires them.
Exactly.
Now, what I did like about the art school, they didn't demand that of us, at least of me. They didn't demand at that time. They didn't destroy it, but they never made a demand that someone has to prove their Africanness or their womanhood. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
You have to go, you have to draw, you have to judge them, you have to go for the seminars, you have to discuss with your friend. And that was the biggest difference. Nowadays, modern people can even say, I'm doing this pain because my mother did not breastfeed me well. There's an excuse for everything. That's okay. Maybe they found inspiration in that.
Exactly.
I don't blame it. What is important in the end that the painting is a good painting and it communicates. When I used to teach people, I had a big problem. The person would come and say that this is a woman, this is a man. But then I said, well, I don't see it. But I'm not saying that it doesn't inspire you. What I need is to see, is it work, is it communicating? Have you put the things together well so that I would say, okay, maybe some of the painting is murky, but I can only look at it from that point of view.
You went to London to the Royal College of Art after your graduation. How did you Was it a scholarship?
Yes.
And those scholarships were available for whoever was.
I'm not quite sure because my father used to work. Where I think I don't quite remember how, but I knew that I wanted to go somewhere, and maybe they were offering scholarship for students. And who was the vice chancellor, Mr. Rule?
Yeah.
He will give them out to the department and say, if any person who might be interested or interested, parent or interested. So I went there. That's how I ended up there.
And with Makonzi and who were those?
Makonzi didn't go to Royal College.
No, he went to.
I don't know where he went.
Somewhere, okay. But Sempangi also went to.
No, Sempangi, therefore. Sempangi and Kirabo Lukwago. Yeah.
Okay. Who is there's this man who ended up working on back cloth?
Who? Did not go to the Royal College. What who?
Musoke. Musoke didn't. Okay. So you went off to Royal College and to do what?
Printmaking.
And you did it?
Yes.
For how many years?
It was a 2-year scholarship.
Okay. So what was your experience there?
Good. It was only to exchange professor told to another guy named Jonathan. Well, one thing which was that it was a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
Like because you didn't have to go to the classes, you just have to now have a self-starter. Yourself, you go.
Yourself.
No, you have to think it yourself. Then you go. Then the guy. Well, no. The guy says that this is how you do the lithograph, and he shows you the actual technical skill that you put the plates here and there, and then he says, okay, now we can give you 4 plates. You go and do what you want.
So what did you do?
A lot of things for myself. I did. First of all, I did Maxon Falls. I did some birds, things that I think were my environment as such. Then I also did.
It's because when students go out, there are certain expectations of the audience in London, for example. He's an African coming from Africa and bringing the idea, if you like, of Africa with her and impacting that within the environment where you're going. And then at the same time, you're absorbing something from where you find yourself. And so there was no conscious, did you feel conscious about being planted in an environment where everything else was nothing but Europe and therefore the expectations?
Well, look, yeah.
I want to turn to this question because it keeps ringing.
Well, when you went away, what happened to you?
What happened to me is I went to India, in fact.
Okay, what happened to you?
And there's certain stereotypes about Africa in India. And masks and masquerades and Benini bronzes and this.
What I did, so there's one thing they did. They used to bring mature. It also happened practicing artists to talk. And then they would talk to us like everybody else. Then they will have. Then we used to have seminars. Okay. And I guess I had to be me. And they didn't. One good thing, they didn't. Nobody said anything about being African, because when you go to a seminar, you can ask the question, and they always normally came around and said, "Well, what are you doing? What are you trying to do?" Then I would talk about it, but it was very, very important. Nobody tampered with that with me.
Okay.
Yeah, like there was no. I suppose the better, the good depends on the quality of the school and the teacher. because even in America it was even better. You are given a studio and materials, and the tutors come to you, as opposed to in undergraduate school where you have to attend during classes. The teachers in America, when I did my master's, the teachers came to the studios, except for when there is a seminar and they want to discuss, and there were suggestions, which makes a big difference. Now, when you're young, you are not. You don't have an overpalatable ego. So you are much more likely to observe from other people and learn. And normally, as I say, when people try to assert themselves and find out, it can offer very exciting kind of art, but it also limits them. It can limit you. But when you are younger, at the stage where it's very nice because I'm ready to listen. Now, if someone says, "What are you trying to do?" and not just tell you, "Go and do this," it makes a big difference. And that's generally, maybe yes, my experience in education.
So you went to college. That wasn't your master's was not.
No. Royal College was I got a certificate in printmaking.
Okay.
The master's was in America.
So you proceeded to America? Or
No, I came back to Uganda.
And taught for about a year?
Yes, about 1970? Yes, in 1970. No, in 1970. Then I went back to. Then I went to America.
This is yet another scholarship.
Yes, that's a local fellow. Now that is a competitive one, because they will go around all the universities in Africa and interview people.
Yes.
And they'll interview and ask you where you want to go.
Which school, which college was that?
Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania.
Okay. And then you spent another 2 years there?
Yes.
And you complete again printmaking?
No. I just got a master's in fine art. I was a painter.
A painting,
Mostly.
Okay.
As I said, they don't tell you what to do. What do you want to do?
How different was America?
I was older, certainly older, and much more confident about me.
So of course, when you return America, 70s obviously were a conflict period politically.
Yes.
And you did not want to return to that kind of confusion after.
No, I came back to School of Fine Arts and they taught here.
1971.
72, 71. I came back and I taught and I had my office in the middle there. Okay. And yes.
They had left already.
Already.
Left in 1971.
Yeah, he had left.
Kingdom was still around.
Kingdom? No, I think.
Kingdom went in 1973.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I came back, yes, maybe he was. I don't quite remember.
Yeah. So you taught for.
No. I taught, and one day I went to Nairobi.
What made you?
No, I went.
Why did you leave?
My colleagues were so. It was a difficult time. We had. One day I went to Nairobi and I couldn't find materials. I couldn't find anything, and I said, "To hell with these people! I want to paint." I did not. It was. Nairobi was quite nice. I said, "I don't think I want to go back and sit in this school and teach. I want to do art."
Wait, so when you came back in 1973, of course the economic war was beginning to bite.
This was difficult to get art materials.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So was that the only reason you decided to leave?
No, not that it was difficult to get paint. How do you paint when there's no when you can't find the paints?
Yeah.
If you want to do a sculpture, how do you do it if you don't have any tools?
Now that brings me to this question that about improvising, about being creative with local available materials. Maybe that is something that did not pass your mind. You could actually look around and use something and do something.
Maybe it didn't, but it didn't. But also, the very art scene, the very being of art, was not as conducive and exciting. And then the very idea of being a teacher and staying in the classroom teaching was not exciting for me. It wasn't. Because like the art school in it, they did not teach you, you can do whatever you like with your art or your talent. When I went to Nairobi, I looked at galleries. And I walked into this gallery and I said to the lady, I want to have an exhibition. It's called Tryon Gallery. Tryon Gallery. He says, I said, yes, I have paintings. So the rest is history. I stayed there.
Wow. Yeah. So you gave up your job here?
Yes.
Yeah. How about how about the insecurity?
Where?
Was not a factor in your decision to go to Nairobi?
Part of it, you couldn't have. One day we were there in the graduation in the army, was all around here. All that combination. Well, not here personal.
Right, okay. Yeah. So Nairobi was amiable. It was actually.
Yeah, it was really nice. You could walk around, buy your painting.
Yeah. But also you are successful as an artist in Nairobi. While Uganda was decaying and Nairobi was actually flourishing. So that, of course, you're hard work. You have to be hard working.
I don't know.
But when you went to Nairobi, your subject matter also.
Oh no, yeah. Well, when I was here, we used to go with Jonathan to the abattoir with the department, and somehow Nairobi, you could go to the game park. You could do so many things at your choice. If you wanted something, you had to work for it and you achieve it. That's the kind of.
You combine both printmaking and painting in measure, or
no. Printmaking. When I came back here, the lithographic material was still working, but still soon everything was going down. Finding the ink, finding the material. So that went a natural death.
Yeah. Exactly.
You said about improvising. Yes, I did even in Nairobi. I would mix media, I would dye, I use ink. See, you name it, you could find it. You can't tell someone to practice art when they can't find it.
Okay. And at some point, Kenya became a bit hostile to Ugandans.
Not me.
Not you?
The only thing which was hostile, like at one time I taught in a whole lot of school. It was a very healthy environment. I gave workshop at the museum. I taught at my place. I taught at Kenyatta University.
That's the point. Did you actually teach? You went to
yes, I did. Because when we were there,
Maloba was still there?
No.
No, he wasn't.
What had happened? There was an organization that says the academic refugee, because all these people they are invested in were living in Makerere by the numbers. The Rockefeller was like to invest in Makerere University. So they had a program of academic refugees. And then I applied at Kenyatta. When I got there, it was not anything that I imagined it would be. It was difficult. And having having been in a free space, that was naturally to complete moving. But then I taught at an international school, Nairobi. I taught, there were so many other venues. There were art fairs, art workshop.
And you're very active there.
Yeah, that was nice. That was very nice.
Yeah. And of course, there is always a time to come back home.
Yes, I have. Now I'm home.
Now you're home. When did that happen?
I don't know. It's just like I have a little house. And I wanted to be in a space where I just paint and do my things. And I was staying in a very nice place, but you see, if you work and I'm paying so much rent, and I said, what do you, and it was not necessary for me to paint and be in Nairobi.
Or is it also because Uganda had become more stable now?
No, that has nothing to do. I don't like politics. You see, it's the amount of money, you know, I said now, if I can do everything I can do in Kampala in my house, and then I stay in this very expensive place in Westland, it is difficult that way. So I said, maybe I can go to Kampala and then develop my little house. And others say I could do everything here. And then not.
So you don't regret coming back?
No. I've been back. I went for the, and I don't like Nairobi. I don't want to stay in Nairobi. And I don't like to stay in big cities.
Yeah, it's becoming huge now. I was there about 2 months ago.
I was here about when Michael had that exhibition, and I had my, no, she's not necessarily. And a lot of my friends, they stay in little cottages in the game park. It's not necessary to stay there and do what I want to do. 2000, 99, 2000.
It was earlier. But that's then, okay, whatever it is, that's a very long time.
Yes.
To be in Nairobi from 70 something to 90?
I've been about 20 years.
20 years?
To be exact.
It's a long time when anyone's life is really long.
Yes.
And what did you accomplish in your view?
Growth. I painted. I found paint. I continue doing what I want to do. I was painting. I was interacting with other artists.
Where can I find your archives? Somewhere, so I can get your path, your journey, you know.
I don't know.
You don't know? You must be having records.
No, I don't collect my records. How could you do?
You made a picture there. You have a photograph of your work in, you know, in the 70s, 80s, and so on.
Go to the newspapers.
Where?
Newspapers.
Yeah. Where can I find you?
Go to MORDENISM in Nairobi.
Oh, okay. I do that.
Yeah, I finished you. Go to newspapers. No, I don't do that. I don't go and make my archives. Do you?
Yeah. Well,
Where you are young and strong, and there's so much time. It's also like the other thing. I don't like talking about myself and whatever. What for?
Yeah. So I'm aware there must be press reviews of some sort. So
yes, they are.
Somewhere, but you have not like compiled them.
No. What am I compiling them for? I'm the one who did those things.
For posterity.
Yeah. That's for the young. Maybe post them on Facebook or TikTok. No, that is not necessary. So I'm busy.
You said
what do you think?
You just told me that you don't have new work. You stopped painting, you stopped doing printmaking. And
no, I was just protecting. I was just protecting myself. I paint all the time. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but you are hiding this work from me.
No. I'm exhibiting in Nairobi with Danda. She's my representative.
Yeah.
I stopped going to galleries myself. Danda comes. Do you look at her website? I don't have to do anything. I can do what I do best: paint and do art. She can market them for me so that I can buy food.
And the themes are still the same? Birds,
yes.
Animals?
Yes.
Antelopes
and sometimes mixed with people. Yes. Yeah. No, I'm painting.
I see.
Yeah. Don't you see? And I'm very, very particular so that we don't meet in my home. We meet in a neutral place.
Yeah. So because you.
I insisted.
That space is very private.
Yes. You see, once you let in like a crack, like a Bududa landslide, it's just a crack, and then the whole thing comes tracking down. So if you have a protected space, protect it. No, I'm very protective of my space.
One day you will let me in, I'm sure.
Maybe. after you've told
because
me.
I'm very harmless.
How do I know? I mean, what are you? How do I know? let me see. This is very strange. Where is your space? Where is your space? You see, I can't, unless you open your studio and you show me and you tell me about your life and your thing, and then I feel like, but if you can't share, just my space.
So
yeah, when you're not.
Let's go back 1 minute to where you started. What are you painting? Animals, birds, and so on. Is that African modernism, or is not? In your judgment, in your view, in your estimation?
That is for you to decide.
Are you a modern painter?
No. It's for you to decide.
Are you an African painter?
For you to decide all those things. I'm an African, and I'm modern, and I'm alive. Yeah.
And you are painting in the heartbeat of Africa. You know, Uganda is the heartbeat of Africa.
Yeah. So I have to be.
So you are within the heartbeat of Africa.
Yes, sir. So I have to be African art modern.
Yes, Africa.
I'm physically sitting here, physically living in Uganda, and physically painting.
Exactly. And what you see around you inspires you. And what you see around you, you find its way into your visual reproduction.
It has to.
And your interpretation of what you are seeing is dependent on your
experience,
long experience, your
my choice of colors is maybe it's influenced by where I've been and what I've been through and what I've seen. You can take an African artist out of Africa.
Say it again.
You can take an African artist out of Africa, but you can't take an Africanist out of her. Is that true? Yes. Can you?
It makes it no. You can't. You still, but it also depends if you go out of Africa and live in another space, and that space becomes what you see all the time, and that space begins to impact on you and work on you and influence you, then you begin to paint what you see in your new environment.
Let me tell you something.
But your African will not go away from you. I understand that.
Yeah, okay, I said this in one sentence, that you can add new experience.
Yes.
But yes, you can add new experience, and then they can change. But the Africanness of you does not go away.
What is this African you're talking about?
Being born here, living here.
How do you characterize that, being an African?
Being an African is being born in Africa or by Africa and living the experience.
Yeah, what is this Africa in the end?
This is it.
Space, physical space.
Yes, it is. It's all those. Physical.
Including what?
Idea, people you meet, you talk to. It's everything.
They're human beings, like Europeans are human beings.
Yes, but when you talk to 10 Europeans, when you talk to 10 Africans, everything is in one. You cannot take one part out of the other. Can you?
That's what we call Africa. Yeah.
How can you subtract one from the other?
But the environment is constituted by the politics, by the culture.
Okay, now that's now you're there. So you can choose any of those things out of where.
Bring them together.
Or you can choose one.
You can't know. All these are.
Yes, but they are in one person, but you can choose one.
And isolate it, and then.
Yeah, and then that's what inspires. That's what.
Leaving everything behind.
Yeah, that's what inspires you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the end, then, what inspires you?
My gazelles, life, wildlife, nature.
Yeah. That has really stayed with you. Are you an activist?
No, of what?
Are you an environmental activist? Because this is about conserving your environment. If those gazelles will not survive without conserving the environment, and now we are here, very busy killing our environment.
No, okay. There's something good. If the gazelles are beautiful, the people would like to see them around longer. I suppose I can be given a little title when a conservative, an environmental, if they say, no, in that sense you can put that title on me. Okay.
So, I mean, I would not be wrong to say, he is an activist, and for preserving or serving the environment.
Well, yes, and then you explain why I am the activist. You could explain it more, yeah? We elaborate.
Because sometimes artists...
When you elaborate, you can say, by just looking, if you do something and you put it there, of course, someone will come and love them. And as long as someone is actively experiencing it, that's my contribution.
What clan are you? Musoke is which clan?
No, Ngabi. Why?
No. Musoke is not Ngabi.
Okay, but I'm of Ngabi clan.
So what's your spinster name?
Theresa Musoke. I've always been Theresa Musoke. Now this is the problem. They did it when they were giving Ndagamuntu. So what is I said, what do you want me to create? A name?
No.
And put them in a way that is understood, then deliver them to your student so that they can also form an opinion and grow.
What are you doing next? What's tomorrow? I know you're making paintings, and what's your future like?
Tomorrow?
I'm trying to
and in terms of what?
In terms of what is your plan? What's your next?
To stay alive.
To stay alive and keep working. And
yes.
Keep painting.
And then and then doing my garden and those plants we took, I'm going to plant them and see them go and prune them and be in a beautiful place.
Yeah, but this is these gazelles and lions and so on live in the wild. Do you?
Well, the only thing in Uganda, I have a lot. Well, there's a whole thing happening now. The only thing in Uganda that if I go there, it's difficult. I've been to Mpara, North, but I have a lot of drawings and I have a lot of stimulant. Now, you know that. There are books, the television, they are very nice, geographical. So that way, whatever it is that was imprinted on my brain, I can reinvent it, relive it in a different space. As you see, change within a human being is not a choice. It happens by itself. Things evolve slowly, naturally. And ability, and sometimes you are forced into it. Like if you can't get this thing material, you might find yourself using what you have. But change will come with or without your motivation.
What's your opinion of now the art scene in Uganda?
That's where I told you I'm not qualified to talk about it because I'm a loner.
Interacting with
I'm a loner. And as I say, I told you when I was in the car, none of these Ugandan artists, they want even to see me near their work. It's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
You told me that.
Yes.
I'm going to pursue it and see if really that is the case.
No, what I'm saying is like, I used to be very active because in Nairobi, there are a lot of young artists, they used to come to my house, I talk, they ask me simple things of humanity, not the Ugandan ones, no. Actually, most of the Ugandan artists are academicians I've met. They don't share that way. They don't share naturally that way. So, I cannot waste my energy, which I have very little.
You have
pursuing that line. If it happens naturally like here, oh well and good. But I cannot go forcefully.
Yeah, I understand that. So, but then that the way you have described yourself, is it sometimes artists do things which they are in I don't see that in your work. That solitude is not filtering into the work.
Well, so to do what do you see in my work?
I see a sense of embracing and openness.
Yes. But you see the good things in the painting.
Yes.
You see now, I'm so happy I can do that.
In your work?
In the work.
Okay. So if you are not finding it in people, at least you let it be.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Okay. You're really angry about people not coming to.
No, I'm not hungry. No. I said I stopped letting people come into my space. First of all, the time consuming. And it would have been, maybe I would have been in Nairobi. I used to have that. But if I'm not even giving back half of it, don't force it.
If I asked you one day to come and speak to our students, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you?
Enough is enough. I want to learn, not to teach. Yeah. I want them to teach. I want them to teach me something. I want people to teach me something. Yeah. Okay. If you want me to come and sit in your class, I will.
But there's nothing that I know that you don't know. So
what do you mean? I don't know. There's so many things I don't know.
Yes.
There's so many. I don't know anything.
Okay. We are concluding, Theresa. Anything that you want to tell me that I have not asked you?
No.
You feel, is there something that I should know that?
No, but it's just something that you know. You are the one who called me.
Yes.
And I haven't seen you now. This is the first time I've seen you. I don't know.
In very many years.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
sometimes you say, okay, I've been.
Okay, how are you painting now? What are you painting?
I'm making sculptures.
Okay. What is the subject?
I've just completed the sculpture, which is a group sculpture. It is now placed in Kaguta Road, Lushere town. And it is depicting President Museveni.
Are you the one who doing your statues? You are still over town?
I do what?
There are a lot of sculptures in town.
Some of them have participated in their making.
Okay.
They
Well, that's
you,
good.
don't they?
No, Kampala is funny. When you're driving something, you turn because.
Oh no! Those ones are not mine. The animals and so on. No.
What about on Lubiri?
No.
What about, yes, there's some town whereby I said, who is that young king of Toro?
No, that's not me.
There's some. No, it's funny. It's a good thing Kampala has some.
Has something these days. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
If there's nothing, you sure you have nothing?
I have
to
nothing.
reveal to me.
No, I
that is from you. That is not so. That's not prompted by my question. Then, yeah.
You know, I'm a very simple person.
Yeah.
Very simple, not complicated.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're working. You continue. With and I would be very happy to see at least some of your latest works.
Okay, someday, maybe in August.
You never have a chance of seeing.
Yes, you will. You will, yes.
Okay, I will call you, and this time.
You see what you see what
I promise to keep time.
No, but you see what you are doing. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, yes, now I'm very happy, but I think I'm going to invite you to my studio to see. I can't understand this. Do you?
I said I'm making sculptures.
Yes, I want to know. Okay, now. Okay, this won't be fair. No, it won't be fair when you're in the studio. You must be doing something.
I'm writing.
There's no artwork I'm going to see.
Okay, let's go down.
Neither yours.
I have something.
Okay.
Yes. This is 2010.
Just a good painting, that's nice.